Hello and welcome back to Lessons in Attachment. I'm Carly Ann. I am the very proud founder of the Attachment Recovery Gym, which is your online membership for those of you that are feeling anxious when it comes to relationship and dating. It's ideal if you are in that learning and taking action phase of your healing. Basically, you're ready for change and you are determined to become secure and so much more. I'm teaching from a place with over a decade of professional experience and 3 decades of personal experience. Basically, what I want from this podcast is for you to be able to take away some gems, some ideas to help you also on your journey as you move from insecure towards secure. Sticking with the lessons in attachment theme, today I want to share with you 5 lessons that I have learned about when my anxious attachment is triggered. So, those moments when you are in it, perhaps you are waiting on that text from someone, perhaps you are actually experiencing an ending. It might be that you and your partner have had a fallout or they've suddenly changed the plan and you're feeling really, really activated. The triggers here are endless, but what's likely to have happened is that your self esteem has been knocked. Perhaps you're questioning your worth, or you're fearing an ending, you're fearing abandonment if you're not experiencing that. Because it may be that some of this experience is in your mind, that they're made up stories, or it may be that it is the result of something real. But either way, here are 5 lessons I've learned that have helped me and now help my clients when your anxious attachment is triggered. Just to say hello if you are listening on the podcast, and hello if you are watching on YouTube. Okay, the first lesson is to know that this pain will pass. People that have experienced trauma, big T or little t, often when you're in that space of reliving, feeling like that sense of nowness, basically, that you're really, really in the thick of it, it can be quite convincing that this is going to last forever. That itself can actually be quite scary. When I've been deep in the pain of abandonment, lacking that awareness of who I am, I've known how convincing it can be that I'm going to be stuck here, that this is it now. Now, you may be wondering, how is it that I'm back here? You may be resisting that whole body urge to break contact. But what I want you to try and remember is that this is going to pass. If we can stand strong in the knowledge that I will get through this, I can handle these sensations. I am stronger than my wounds, and soon I will feel like me again, then that might help us. It might help us even just a bit. And sometimes that is all we need. So knowing you're not stuck here, this isn't dangerous. It might feel really uncomfortable, but it will pass. And actually linking me in quite nicely to the second lesson, which is that the goal here can be to feel like 1% better right now. And that is still a win. This is not about feeling like fully myself and coming home fully to my body. It's not about using all of my tools and then working 100%. This is about coming back to this space where I am, even 1%. That 1% improvement might be the difference in me acting out. It might be the difference in me saying or doing something that I later regret. Now, feeling myself might take another 12 hours, might take another few days, weeks, depending, of course, on what you're going through. But the mission isn't right now to just suppress and ignore and just be able to get over it. We often have to feel what we're going through. And if you can choose something now to help yourself even 1%, that is a win. And it could be what makes the difference of you waking up tomorrow and feeling like, wow, okay, I got through that. And actually, my dignity is still intact. The next lesson is that although this idea of going inward sounds annoying, like what does that mean? The reality is that it helps. And this took me a long time to realize that when you're in the thick of it, if you can go inwards and experience your inner world with curiosity, that is going to be much more helpful than putting your attention outside of you, trying to figure this out, blaming, searching YouTube for what someone else is thinking and signs of them coming back or not coming back, whatever it might be. If instead you can go inwards and experience and question what is it that's going on for me right now, not only might that help you with that 1%, but it also might help you in the future, like to limit these experiences or to reduce their intensity. The next lesson for these moments is to dig really deep for self-compassion. You might find that there is part of you now that is just so frustrated, so annoyed with yourself that you're back here, that you're experiencing this, that you can't just use your tools and get out of it. And actually, that kind of criticism tends to keep you stuck. And that criticism further triggers your hurt parts or the inner child that is activated right now. That self criticism actually intensifies this experience. I'm not saying you have to absolutely love it and convince yourself that you're okay with this feeling. It's more a case of, am I able to step back and meet this pain, meet these thoughts, meet these experiences with some compassion of what I have been through, of what has brought me here? That itself, to kind of just acknowledge you've gone inwards, we're acknowledging the pain, really digging deep for that understanding, that less judgment, that can help us to unmerge from this experience, which then in turn can help us with that 1% better. And then when we've got that 1% better, we might be able to access the inner knowing that this is going to pass and I am going to be okay. The next and final lesson that has helped me and has actually been key takeaways for my client is the idea of how much you think you need someone else right now is actually how much you need yourself. So if you are in a place right now where you are just convinced that you need your partner to come home or to call you in this moment, or that you are convinced that you need to be in a relationship or know exactly where you stand in this moment, that idea is that codependency of being so dependent on someone else that you believe in this moment that the only way I can be okay is if X happens. And usually that's to do with someone else when your anxious attachment is triggered. That is actually how much you need yourself. It might well feel like you're crawling out of your skin. You might not feel like yourself right now. This is a sign that self-love is needed. This is a sign to say to yourself, I've got you. What you think that you need from that person, is there any way that you can adapt that and give yourself what it is that you need? Maybe that is some touch. Maybe that is some loving, compassionate words. This isn't about fixing the situation. This isn't about having certainty around the situation. This is about really soothing that hurt part, soothing that inner child that is so activated right now. And so if you can remember, okay, this is how much I need self-love, not someone else, that can be really, really powerful. Okay, those are my 5 lessons for when your anxious attachment is triggered. And I know it's really difficult when you're in it. So I'm sending you lots of support, lots of help. And just I'm curious about, what do you think? Is there anything that you would add to that that perhaps I can share with the community? Is there anything that you really needed to hear today? Let me know. I think the best way probably to let me know is if you're on YouTube, in the comments. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, then head over to my Instagram, carly.ann_, and you can add to the conversation there. And do remember, if you relate to these lessons, to check out the Attachment Recovery Gym, where there's a whole community of us building these skills to become more secure, to be able to self-soothe in the moment, and really know that you're just absolutely not on your own. Hope that you got some lessons, some gems, some ideas from this to help you on your journey. And do not forget that you deserve a healthy, happy love in your lifetime.